All right. So we want to do factoring today. Before we get to the factoring, the important thing is to understand distribution. So let's come up with a problem like this, simplest one. X times, let me flip this so that so x times this parentheses, you have the quantity, for example, 2x plus 1, right? This is multiplication, distribution. There's a multiplication here. So you need to distribute this by this and that by that. So you're going to multiply this x inside the quantities inside parentheses that you have. So x times 2x is going to be what? 2x squared. Awesome. Plus 1 times x. X. Cool. That's the easiest one. The next one, now instead of x, imagine you have x plus 1 times x plus 2. So in this case, again, you have to distribute, but you have binomial multiplication, but product of binomial and binomials. In this case, this is called monomial times binomial. This is binomial times binomial. There's a product here. So again, you do distribution. You multiply this by this by the other one, and then this by this, and then this the other one. So you have 4 multiplications, all right? So what you're going to do is like this. X times x is what? X squared. X times 2 is what? Plus 2x. 1 times x is 1x. And 1 times 2 is just positive 2, right? And if you look carefully, we have common terms. These are common terms. Then we can add together. That's going to be 3x. So eventually, you're going to have a trinomial, x squared plus 3x plus 2. This is called trinomial. Keep in mind right now this one, because I'm going to use these to do operation, reverse of this, which is factoring. So now, independent of binomial or whatever you have, you might have even a trinomial times trinomial, like 2x plus x plus 1 times, that's trinomial times binomial, like again what you had, x plus 2. Cool. So what you're going to do, again, you distribute 1 by 1. This times this time the other one, this time this time the other one, and then this time this time. You multiply all of them together and then add the common terms. So you're going to have 2x times x is what? 2x squared, right? Then 2x times 2 is what? Positive 4x. Then x times x is what? Just plus x squared. And x times 2 is what? Plus 2x. And 1 times x is just plus 1x, which is x. And 1 times 2 is just 2. Common terms, if you want to add, this and this becomes 6x. And then this one.
But don't you add the other x too?
Oh, so something that I did, that's not what I meant. Let me fix it. Yeah, I'm going to add them, but let me see. I meant to have this 2x squared. I meant to have this 2x squared. Because if it was 2x plus x is going to be adding, and it becomes 3x. So I meant 2x squared. So let's fix that. 2x squared times x is going to be 2x to the third, right? That's going to be 3. And then 2x times another one, 2 is going to be 4x squared. So that's 4x squared. Cool? So let's erase these. And then now 2x squared and x squared. It's going to be 4x squared. 3x squared. Yeah, 4x squared plus 1x squared is going to be 5x squared. There's 4 of them and 1 of them, so 5x squared. This one, there's only 1 of them, 2x to the third. And this is positive. And now these two is going to be 3x, right? 2x plus x is 3x plus 2. So that simplifies. Cool, that's the hardest foiling, they call it. You're going to have, which is trinomial. It doesn't matter how many terms you have. You have 4 terms times 2 terms, you distribute one by one. Now let's go do factoring. So back to here. Now let's say they give you something like this and say factor it. Let's make it to the first power similar to what you did before, like this one. Now you're going to find common terms between first one, like 2x to the third, and then x to the first in this binomial, all right? First term and second term. What is common factor? It's x is common factor, and you're going to pick the least power, the smallest power, which is in common. There's one x in both of these terms, right? So I'm going to factor just x, and then I'm going to open parentheses. And I'm going to say 2x to the third divided by x is what? You divide each one of these into this factor term. So 2x to the third divided by x.
I don't understand how you divide by x.
So this is what you're going to do. 2x to the third divided by x. So separately, this is like on a scratch paper I'm doing it. 2x to the third is what? It's like 2 times x times x times x, right? There's 3 of them. And here, there's only one of them. See that? They cancel. One of them cancel with one of them. What's left? 2 x's. X times x with 2, which is going to be 2x squared. Cool? So that's going to be what? 2x squared. So erase these. And then now x to the first divided by x. X times x is just 1, right? It's going to be plus 1. So that's the answer. So if we go back, we just talked about distribution, how you distribute. If you want to distribute, you can check your work. See, this time this, you get 2x to the third, and this time this, you get positive x. Got it? This factoring is very important because when you want to do a factor trinomial, you have to see there might be common factor in between them. So you need to take out the common one. So I'll show you with examples when we get there. Now let's do another factoring like this one. So x squared plus 5x plus 6, right? So you want to factor this. One method I teach to my students is say, start with this one. This is the product. This is the sum. Product means multiplication, sum means addition. Product means two numbers that you multiply, you get 6. So you need to find two numbers, 2 and 3. So I'm gonna list them here, 2 and 3, and 1 and 6, and whatever you can find. And which one of these you add, you get 5 sum. So it's 2 and 3, right? So therefore, your factoring is gonna be like that, right? X and x, because x and x is gonna give you this term, right? When we were foiling, remember we said this times that, x times x, which is going to be x squared. So that's going to give us the first term. And then, but with the other one, it's positive 2 and positive 3. You need to consider the sign also, because when it's positive, you get positive 6. You multiply them, and you add them, you get positive 5. So one of them is positive 2, the other one is positive 3. See, first for these two, it's already, you set it up like that, x times x squared. These two you chose because you list them, and then you multiply them, you get 6. Now you need to have the middle term. Middle term is 5x, basically addition of these two, 2 plus 3. Or when you were doing foiling, this part is missing. This time this, and this time this. These two multiplications. See, 2 times x is 2x. 3 times x is 3x. 2x plus 3x is going to be 5x. So that's how you multiply. That's how you factor. So, yeah, this is done. There's also another, a little bit harder. So, another level of factoring. This is easier. Why? Because a is equal to 1. So, for the problem that we just did, we said a is equal to 1, because in original, the standard form, which we have a quadratic form in the standard form, is ax squared plus bx plus c. When a is equal to 1, this number is equal to 1, you just get x squared, like the previous problem that we have. See, it's x squared. There's no number in front of it besides just 1. That's the easiest kind of factoring. So when there's a number in front of it, like 2, 3, 5, 6, whatever, 10, it gets a little bit harder, and it's a little bit more involved to factor it. We'll do one of those also. So that's the b, and that's the c. If we compare it with the previous problem, like b was 5, and c is equal to 6. So this is called standard form, quadratic equation standard form. So basically a and b and c are numbers multiplied by, say, x squared and then 5x, and which is 6 at the end, which is this one, which is c.